Sunday arvo in the land of the theme parks. At one end, football's version of Dream World. The attack that features the star power of Franklin and Tippett.
There he goes, now bends it around. Tippett again, Franklin, look at Franklin.
Along with Goods, the three dominant forwards booted a dozen goals last week.
Right foot snapper around the body.
They're ominous, but they're not the only stars in today's show. Even they bow to the great Gaz.
Ablett from 40 metres out.
Yes! It was as exciting as it looked, and straight through the middle, Ablett.
He is Hollywood on the Gold Coast. Every week he takes his fans on an action-packed ride.
Here's Ablett. It's online. What a free goal.
Always value for money. And invariably there's a moment of brilliance that takes your breath away.
Here's Ablett.
Today at Metricon, the Rising Suns are at home to the soaring Swans. Finals hopefuls against premiership favourites. The entertainment will be yours.
Turn around. That's a goal. Ablett's kicked 4. He says, I'm the master here.
The two biggest stars in the AFL on show today, Buddy Franklin and Gary Ablett. We welcome you to Metricon Stadium. A big prize today for the winner. They're in the top 4 tonight at the halfway stage. For the loser, they're somewhere between 5th and 8th. Both the Suns and the Swans are two in a cluster of teams chasing Port Adelaide for that top 4 spot right now. And both teams are in pretty good form. The Suns, their winning run came to an end last week, yes, but they've won 5 of their last 6. And Sydney look awesome at the moment. They've won their last 6 and they look oh so strong and are probably the premiership favourites. Dennis, a lot to like about today.
Absolutely, Bruce. Looking forward to this one, Lee. A real test for the Suns this afternoon.
Well, absolutely. I mean, they're such a solid team, the Swans, and been for a long time. But the Suns are the new kid on the block, really, apart from Port, of course, who are top of the ladder. But they've just come through 7-3 at after 10 games, and they play exciting footy. It's really going to be a great spectacle.
Sydney, something of a monster in recent weeks. There's one of the reasons why. Kurt Tippett up front, John Longmire, of course, the coach, another champion forward.
You have to remind yourself they won by 110 points, but it was over Geelong, who were just an outstanding team. So they're just really their last month.
So when you win by 110 points, you don't expect any changes, barring injury. They've made none. It looks very strong, particularly in the front half.
Strong all over the field. Malcheski, I thought, was almost the best player last week when they beat Geelong. He was, and Shaw, they ran off halfback. Richards and Grundy are probably going to be tested a little bit because the big forwards, Dixon and Lynch, are very good. Carmichael Hunt, we see there, who's playing his first game for the year for the Suns.
Hard body, no coincidence he comes in today.
Well, I think so. He's probably earned his spot, but gee, they've got to start Harley Bennell there. He's into the side as well. So Rory Thompson, of course, back into the side. He'll probably get the job on Lance Franklin, so he's probably back in the right time. May probably play deeper on Tippett. So, yeah, two exciting teams.
You've got to say they look better for the changes, the Suns, as we go back to Bruce.
Good on you, Dennis, and I'm with Jude Bolton. Jude, 325 games for the Swans. We know where your heart lies sometimes, but there's so much to like about the Suns. So give them a shot today.
Absolutely. For the Suns, they really need to limit Sydney's run and spread, and they'll do that by winning contested footy and winning the clearances. So one of the players I've really picked out is David Swallow, though. He's just got to have a big game, and he's one of those group that have really improved in the Swans midfield. We forget he's a #1 draft pick. Last week he had 37 disposals, finished with 2 goals as well, but he's clean, he's hard, he's combative, and that's what he needs to be. He's formed a really formidable midfield with O'Meara and Prestia and Ablett, of course. So, really special player.
Why has he gone to the next level? Is it just those pre-seasons that are banking up now, do you think?
Oh, I think Guy McKenna played him off half-back as a running half-back, and this year he's just relishing that spot, just back in the midfield. So I think he's enjoying being in there.
No, he's a beauty, that's for sure. And in that draft, you talked about him being #1. Dion Prestia was also in the top 10. In fact, they had 7 of the top 11 from that draft. And Prestia, like Swallow, is having a remarkable season. He was runner-up to Gary Ablett last year in the best and fairest, and seemingly going better this year. And he's part of the big half-time show from Metricon today.
Prestia kept running. Needs to kick this. Dion Prestia's having a very good afternoon.
He was was fairly short and stocky, and he's not over tall now.
A nuggety little meatball, which he's finished up being christened with now, I think, by Brian Taylor.
The human meatball, the boy out of Assumption College, Prestia.
A kid who seemed pretty driven in what he wanted to do.
He was fairly confident. He was relatively small compared to some of the giants that we had, but he really made his presence felt pretty early with his work rate.
I think it was always in his mind that he was desperate to become an AFL footballer. That was his dream.
Pretty soon we were very satisfied that we had a very talented, long 10-year AFL player.
Prestia steps around nicely.
Great run by Prestia. He knew exactly what he was doing there.
As an 18-year-old, really confident that he would get drafted. Not sure where he was going to go. I think his parents hoped that he might go locally around here.
He really caught the imagination and the eye of, I guess, the whole 17 clubs at that time.
And off to Prestia, runs through the corridor, hits the accelerator, hits the trigger, pulls it, goes boom!
It was no surprise when he was drafted, and probably no great surprise that he's been a standout player with Gold Coast Suns.
Yeah, Sydney have been a really good team for a long time, and everyone talks about their culture down there, and I think they've set the standard in that regard. But they've got Buddy now and Kurt Tippett, so they're going to have a really strong forward line, and I think it starts in the midfield. So hopefully, if we beat them there, then Franklin and Kurt won't get too many opportunities, and hopefully we can knock them off.
And Zach Smith is away. Cannot chase him. This deserves a goal, and it gets a goal.
I think they've been so consistent because they play so well as a team. They're the kind of team that they just seem to have so many leaders. There's so many guys out there, setting up the structures, making sure they're doing things right, making sure everyone's playing their role.
In addition of Tippett and Franklin, they've got a big, powerful forward line. Key players all over the field, and they're a good team and well drilled.
A couple of the best key forwards going around. They're going to be pretty tough to stop.
Tippett, deliberate sovereign to Buddy.
We like to compare ourselves to Sydney, and just the way that their midfielders work both ways, defensively and offensively. And yeah, adding Tippett and Franklin to that team, they're a pretty dangerous forward line.
This is curling back. It's a goal. Wow. Exciting team. The Sydney Swans in their all-white strip. They've won their last 6, the last 4 lead by a total of 258 points. That wouldn't be like real coaching, would it?
Oh, at the moment, they've just been in outstanding form. You'd almost pick and beat the All-Australian team, Dennis. They've actually just been in scintillating form. And again, we said when they beat Geelong by 110 points, never seen a better exhibition than that, I don't think.
The last team to beat them was North Melbourne in round 4. Let's go back to Bruce with Jude Bolton.
Thanks for that, Dan. Yeah, and a lot talked about the dream team up forward, and it's worked so well. I mean, Tippett's come back into the team alongside Franklin, Reed's back in, and it's all been working for them, Jude.
That's been the biggest thing. I think that they're spacing out. The three forwards, the big guys, have certainly just given each other the room to move, and Tippett especially, he's just a colossus down there. He's 201 centimetres, he's 105 kilos, so he's a huge frame, and you just sensed early on last week against Geelong, against Blitzavs and Rivers, that the Swans midfielders were just getting it in deep and long, and he was giving them reward for effort, and I think that's the biggest thing. He's been hitting the scoreboard. Of his last 15 games, he's kicked 47 goals, 23, so that's unbelievable turnaround.
No, it's a great effort. In fact, it's more than any other player during that time. 5 more than Tex Walker. So, no, he has been absolutely superb. So they're out there at the moment, the Swans, and the Suns are not too far away, Dennis, from coming out.
Yeah, good on you, Bruce. Another lovely day on the Gold Coast too. The Gold Coast Suns coming off a loss against Adelaide. Played pretty well in that game, though, and prior to that, had won 5 straight. They start the day in 4th spot. So much young talent, so much size. We commented on that last time we came up. Some really big fellas in this lineup now. And so far this season, Guy McKenna's been able to stabilise this team. The Suns have used only 29 players, and that's important too, Lee.
Oh, absolutely. And their key position players are really big. Their midfield is talented, and 4th year in existence, won 7 of their first 10. They're in great shape.
I'll find out more this afternoon. A real reality check for these Suns. At home, big crowd. Their chance to show how far they've come. Yes, let's go down to Bruce again. Sorry, Lee.
It's all right.
Guy McKenna standing by.
Thanks for that, Daniel. Bluey's joined me. Some terrific inclusions today. I mean, 3 very good players coming back in.
Yeah, handy ones. I mean, obviously Carmichael's been in some good form, Bruce, and certainly deserves his chance on form. Obviously a very hard body, and against Sydney you're going to need a lot of hard bodies. Rory Thompson comes back in, and he's been probably our key defender, if you like, but Stephen May's really filled his shoes out really well, and he comes back to our side, and obviously Harley just adds that class to our side.
We saw Carmichael here a couple of weeks ago in the early match, and he did impress. I mean, he's obviously worked really hard to get back in. Yeah,
he's just a bit like us last week. We've been taking a step forward. We just stubbed our toe, and pardon the pun with Kay, he's done the same as well. So he just had to get his fitness level. His form had been really good, but just he's only managing sort of 70% of a second division game, if you like. So we had to make sure, he had to make sure his fitness was good, but his fitness has been good, and he gets an opportunity today.
How are you going to use him, Guy?
Oh, he'll go through our midfield. He'll play half forward as well, and obviously we've got to rotate him highly. But you know, his strength around the contest is going to be one of many factors that we need to go right for us to win this game.
If you look at numbers purely, Josh Kennedy and Gary Ablett have a great match for each other this year. I mean, they're basically leading the competition in so many key indicators. I mean, at some stage today, I mean, they probably won't go head-to-head, we realise that, but 2 absolute guns, aren't they?
Well, yeah, we're actually going to send Gary to Josh, and
you are?
Yeah, we're going to do that, and yeah, I think Josh, I mean, he's a fantastic player. Let's not kid ourselves, and I call him the human sprinkler, if you know what I mean. He gets in there and just farms it out.
So tell us the background to Ablett going to Kennedy today.
Oh, well, just to change it. Well, change it up for Gaz. Gaz is licking his lips. I mean, I'd say for his time, I'd say his form has been down, if you like. But 25 goals and 2 goals. If that's his worst game of the year, I'd be very happy with that. But just trying to just change the mindset. And again, like all great players, they want to continue to get better. And Gary's put his hand up to do that. So you might not see that from the very first bounce, Bruce. But certainly after the centre bounce, they'll go head to head.
Bluey, thanks for your time. A huge match. All the best today.
Thanks, Bruce.
Really looking forward to this. Should be a beauty.
You need to just hit it, and you need to think back to this moment the rest of your life.
And you're aware that this moment can change your life.
The waiting is over.
Oh my God.
That was extraordinary. Taking it to the edge. Huge absence. That's it. He's won it. He's won it.
It was incredibly surreal. I mean, it was just, you can't believe you're there.
Sunday football. Metricon Stadium on the Gold Coast. What a beautiful day. What a big game. 2 7-3 teams. Dave McKenna just talking nearly about getting Ablett to Kennedy. Bruce bringing out the best in him. Is that hard to orchestrate? You want it, but...
yeah, I reckon the Swans and Ben McGlynn in particular will be trying to get hold of Ablett. I don't think the Swans will be keen for Ablett to be head-to-head with Kennedy, and they might... I don't think it'll happen.
It'll be hard to make it happen.
I mean, to do that, Gary has to just go and stand next to Kennedy and provide a 2-on-1. I don't think that's going to happen today.
Got a tail.
Ablett wins the toss. So they will go to the eastern end of the ground at Metricon as we go down to Jude Bolton.
Thanks, boys. Absolutely magnificent conditions down here on ground level, 22 degrees. Since round 6, the Gold Coast Suns have scored 115 points per game, so they're fast starters as well. Really want to see that matchup between Ablett and Kennedy, but yeah, I agree with Lee. I reckon it'll be a Kennedy and maybe one of the Carmichael Suns at different stages. But for the benches, Cunningham, Laidler, Bird and Lloyd will be the sub, and O'Meara, Hunt and Russell with Matt Shaw as the sub for Gold Coast.
The umpires this afternoon, Chamberlain, McInerney and Mitchell. Always interesting to watch these Suns simply because by the week they're almost getting better, aren't they?
Well, they can score. That's the point. I mean, you always think they're not as solid as the Swans. You know the Swans never get blown out of the water. They're always competitive, whereas the Suns can be really good, but they can also get scored against. That is still their Achilles heel at this point of their evolution.
Right now, the Swans are the biggest test in footy, though.
Oh, outstanding. I mean, their defence is so strong. They've got rebound. They're good in the air. I think their midfield, I mean, we know the star-studded forward line. We speak about that all the time. But their midfield group I suspect is the hardest working, the ability to win the contest, spread hard on offence, and then really spread hard or to man up and pick up and get the ball back on defence. I think they're a really honest midfield group.
Big night for the Wallabies too last night over France. Bruce knows more about it than I do, but they played pretty well.
And I reckon when Buddy Franklin and Gary Ablett are playing and you're in the area, you come down and watch, don't you, Dan?
That's right, you do. Sense of a show. It's showtime here at Metricon. Their work is done, so you can rest on your laurels. This is just about to start. Looking forward to this ride this afternoon. The benchmark and the youngsters on the rise. Bright sunshine. And we're set to go. Smith and Derricks. Smith up very high, down to Prestia, claimed immediately. Dragged to the ground by Kennedy, trying to get it out, and the umpire calls for it, so he'll bounce it again.
Early on, we're seeing May on Franklin and Thompson on Tippett.
Smith kind of behind the pack, nicely done. Jetta gave it across to Hanbury, high ball inside the forward 50. Tippett reduced to a spoiler there, knocked it down. Broughton quickly away, not 15. Hanbury again tries to give it back to Jetta. Jetta across to Franklin, could have been claimed high, knocks it away from goal. Derricks nimble. We're getting to like him. Jetta sweeping hand pass. Shaw's got it. Not much hair there. Bearing down was Ablett. Got him fair and square. No prior opportunity. Yes, there was. Ah, there you go. Not genuine.
Gee, that's not a good result to give Ablett 50 from that position, because he might get within range here.
I must say, I can understand prior opportunity, but the no genuine attempt rule in that upright tackle. Let's have a look at this. Well, I don't know what attempt you can make.
No, you can't.
But you've been bear hugged.
It's got to be with your head or your leg.
Yeah.
No arms.
Can he get the distance here? He's about 55 metres out. It's a strong kick and just offline. And behind. So Ablett started forward 50, Lee, with Smith on him.
Yeah, well, I mean, yes, he started forward 50. I mean, I think one of the things that we think Ben McGlynn will try and get to Ablett, so I think so would the Suns, maybe just trying to do something different to make that matchup harder to achieve.
So Rampy got it to McGlynn, to Hanbury. Bennell just corralled him a bit. Hanbury, good kick. Gets it down the line to the vastly improving at 21 years of age Parker. He's a young gun.
Parker towards the pocket. Well played by May in a test of strength. He won it against Franklin. Punches away. Arriving quickly, Jack, but he can't keep it in. Some boundary throw in. Plenty of shadow across the ground. Still more sun than shade. But the shadows are lengthening. Inside the 50. Rucks go at it. In from the side. Cameron tried to punch it away. Didn't really succeed. Prestia was held up. Cameron on the ground. It came back to him.
Yes. Clay Cameron's got the match up on Sam Reid, who someone in the defence has to give away a lot of height, because no one's going to have that bigger defence.
No, they've got plenty of size, haven't they? Out of the congestion, it bounces out of bounds in the pocket. I think it was Derricks who got boot the ball, and we'll have a throw in. He's a bullocking ruckman. What a help he's been, given all that's happened. Mumford went away, Pike got injured, and Derrick steps up.
And Pike played today, Dennis, in the earlier match, and so Sydney gathering some strength maybe in that department. Smith took it out of the air, was tackled. Ablett. Stanley just hacking the ball. Bennell, good hands. May re-signed a contract this year. Could he?
Oh.
Well, big mistake there.
It was a bad mistake, wasn't he?
And now Goods takes the advantage. Soft kick forward. Not a great kick really in the end. I mean, Tippett was in not the best position, but May took the opponent on, didn't he? He had Day out wide.
Well, he did. He actually, he was trying to evade the tackle, then give the handball, but the tackle knocked the ball clear, which is immediately a holding the ball decision. Incorrect disposal.
Halfway through a contract negotiation, I was there with him, and he messed it up.
Renegotiate. Smith knocks it down. Stanley, Scatelli, Prestia. Just get the feeling the Suns need to hold their ground early. Flexing their muscles right now, Sydney, doing all the attacking.
Good for their big defenders. May did well in the one-on-one on Franklin, and Thompson did well on the one-on-one on Tippett. So it's a good start when they draw the first two contests.
Swallow having a great season. Bangs one at Harborough, couldn't hang on. Kennedy's hand pass charged down. Derricks again. Got to watch him closely. Two go in and apply the tackle. We'll have a ball up.
I ran into him, Den, in the lift today, Derricks, and he Maybe a great story. Prestia trying to get it out. Well, good hands by Day. Well played. Stanley, good handball to Lynch. And then Lynch with a driving kick. Gee, that's got a bit on it now. Kamatira now, he's one-sided pretty much. Rampy did pretty well. Rishkatelli doesn't take it cleanly. Laidler, ball almost at the back. Bennell's very clever. And that kick towards the goal. And just offline, just with Derrick's here. When he was left out by Richmond, basically delisted, he went back to Western Australia and went back to carpentry for a couple of months before he got the phone call from Sydney. So things can change over Christmas, eh?
Amazing story, isn't it? Is he getting sick of us saying how unexpected it is? Reid along the line. There's Bird, back to Reid. Kennedy over the football, attracts a crowd. He dived on that ball, needs to be careful here. No, it rolls out the other side. Harbrow had it momentarily. McVeigh picks it up, goes to Bird. Bird from half back. High ball towards the wing. Franklin in front. May reaches over the top. He's had a couple of mini victories so far. Punches the ball out of bounds.
Boys, Carmichael Hunt's just come on for his first run. He's found himself on the hard-running Dan Hanbury, so he'll need to stay goal side pretty early.
Going to be a lot of interesting matchups as the day unfolds up there. Derrickson Smith, so Smith back for his third run, fourth run, make that. He's had 3 games back, so getting fitter by the game. A prodigious talent, Smith. And such a size. So Amira's handball just missed Ablett. He goes for a second. Can't quite. And that one cut off. McGlynn in close. Tried to get it to Cunningham. Rishkatelli and also McVeigh. Well done, Rishkatelli. That was really clever. And then Ablett. Oh, that was brilliant. Quick hands, just didn't quite find Smith, but his release was really impressive and a boundary throw-in. So not much scoringly early. I mean, hard to get some space, isn't there?
Good, hard-fought game at the moment. The defence have done well when they've been under pressure, and the midfield is just a lot of players around the footy. No one can really get clear into space yet.
Smith wins it. Derricks gets the crumb though, releases Hanbury to space. He sends it down towards half forward, loose ball. Jack first to arrive, claimed immediately, gets free, looks towards the square, sharp angle, hit the post.
Just got rid of Broughton there, Jack, who was able to break the tackle. Good hands, O'Meara, that's a terrific mark. Been just down maybe a fraction the last couple of weeks. Set himself a pretty high standard. Matera on the burst. So just trying to set up here.
Move it on. Play on.
Goes for the long ball down, and Dixon went really early. Prestia had first look at it with Bird. Back it comes to Russell. They work it well. Dixon. And that's not really a good kick. I mean, it was a half and half, and in the end, Richards was able to get hold of it. Back to Shaw, back to McVeigh. McVeigh off a step, clever, gets to Hanbury. Hanbury with a switch. Now, that's a dangerous kick. Cut off by Ablett. Ablett for about 70 metres out. Does the team thing to Bennell.
Yeah, well played. He had the choice, Ablett. Does he have a crack at the goals and get to the 50-metre line? But if he can set up a set shot from 40 metres, which is what he's done, that is the best. Really good decision, good execution. Doesn't do much wrong.
No, and he started well too, Lee. I mean, yeah, the last time we were here, he took a long time to get into the game against Pickett. Today, he's been lively early. Bennell's a good kick. He's back in the team. Guy McKenna talked about him pre-match. 45 metres out. He hasn't hit it well. He sort of, I'm not sure if he really kicked through it.
Yeah, it was one of those set shots from 40 metres, trying to steer it through rather than control power and kicking the ball firmly.
Shaw to Richards to Grundy. Runs the boundary line. Hugs it with the kick too. In front, Parker reaching over the top. Harbrow punches it away. So boundary throw in. Suns lead by a couple of points. Very defensive game so far. Ablett moments ago. Nobody deep, so played it very cleverly. Hanbury trying to carry it through there. Prestia looking for a free kick for a high tackle. Shaw. Here's Bird. Much improved to space and Jetta. Oh, that was a good catch. Brilliant. Now he's away. Second bounce. Runs to 50. Deserves a goal. I think he's off target, but Franklin a chance. Oh, well done by May. Got back, body to body, front on, and punched it against the behind post. He started well.
Going to have to earn his marks today, Franklin. Yeah, May's been really good in the one-on-one contest.
No, good stuff, and it was a great mark by Jeddah. And gee, Day was impressive. The run to chase Jeddah, actually. Just kept a little bit of pressure. Goods roving brilliantly and then missing. So a few shots at either end so far. Feel like it's a really good game about to break out, isn't it? It's one of those. I mean, it's sort of in a holding pattern right now, isn't it?
Yep.
Both teams having sparring at one another, but no one's been able to deliver a goal. So McKenzie, who's the loose man down back. Now, strange kick in the end because to nobody really, and then Rampy on the wrong side for him, but a reasonable kicking side. So Hunt, first disposal for him at this level this year, and not such a good one, and Smith takes the mark.
Gutsy by Kolajasny just moments ago, stepping in front of the leading player. It's going to be a good one. Speaking of good ones, Goods has got it on the outer side, 60 metres out from goal. Thinks about a short pass, now goes for distance, setting it up. They'll compete about 20 metres out. Again, the Suns did well, got it down in front, slicked by Bird. McVeigh, given some time, they stayed off him. But back in the defensive goal square is McKenzie. So they're holding up well, the Swans, or rather the Suns.
Move it on, play on.
Absorbing some pressure, the old rope-a-dope. When they've gone forward, they've looked dangerous. High ball, beyond half-back, short of the wing, taken by Dixon. Lays it down into the path of Prestia. He's away. Can Lynch run to space? He's trying to. He's still on Lynch. He'll get the short one now. Well worked, the big fella. 55 metres out, Danowitz full forward. Pulls Matera to the ball. That was brilliant by the Suns.
Played that well all the way through, didn't they? Prestia held onto the ball, see what option would present itself. Lynch ran hard from behind the ball. So it was a good bit of play. They thought their way through that situation really well. Matera not really a one-on-one marking player. That's not his strength, but forced his way to the front position.
Very one-sided, as Bruce so aptly said earlier, but it won't affect him here. Probably the kick for a right footer easier. Well, much easier as it turns out of bounds on the full in the opposite pocket. They've got to take their chances.
Yeah, 4 shots for 3 behinds. They've been very sloppy in their conversion early.
So Malcheski gets it from Grundy. Grundy 150 today. Malcheski running hard, but again the Suns in a good spot here. Day takes the mark on Reed. They're a similar matchup, aren't they, Day and Reed, when you see them together like that?
Yeah.
It's a good athlete, Day. So he sits it up. Dixon's the first target. Grundy, well done, Malcheski. Parker, Laidler having a solid season. Kick out wide to Cunningham, not hurled up, and now Jeddah's got just what he wants. Time and some space, tip it on the lead, doesn't deliver all that well. Well done. Thompson, well done. And now Harbrow, brilliant kick to Russell. And then Russell coming wide. Smith, he stretches him and gets him. And then Smith down the line. I reckon they've avoided one bullet. I reckon one of the problems today was that the Swans jumped them early. They haven't done that, so the Suns holding well here.
No stage fright, certainly. Offhand swallow. Oh, taken hard by Parker. Ball was jarred out of there after it goes Ablett. Battling with Jack. Ball trickles away. They're well placed the other side of the pack, the Suns, if they can get it through. Didn't get through. Bennell was 5 metres off the pack. Close to the boundary line, pushed across the line is Smith, and we'll have a boundary throw in.
I think you're right, Bruce. The element of staying in the game, you know, they're just heavily favoured, even though they're on their home territory, the Suns. The Swans have been in such good form. If you can stay in the game, that's probably just the first objective.
And so far, so good in that area. So Ablett cleverly to Bennell, and then Bennell, that's a good kick from where he was to a pretty hot spot, and well defended by the Swans. Great test for Grundy and Richards today, Lee, with the young tools.
Well, yeah, I guess you'd probably argue the young tools have got the great test in a sense against Richards and Grundy, who are proven, experienced defenders, but that's going to be important for the Suns that they can grab their 3 or 4.
Day hooked it back, McGlynn, well done, to Jack, and then Jack to some space. So these one-on-ones, And again, these young defenders have done pretty well so far for the Suns. Well done, Cunningham. Kennedy, we haven't seen a lot of him early. Don't worry, we will. Reed's kick to centre wing, and well done again by May. Speaking of those young defenders, this is an important kick. Lynch taken down. Cunningham, McGlynn switching. And then Rampy switching, and in good hands with Malcheski, you would think.
Away he goes up towards the wing. On the move, Hanbury meters in the clear. May just looking to corral him. Hanbury going long down towards full forward. McKenzie in an awkward situation. And as a result, Franklin's taken the mark. So May went to meet the ball carrier and paid the price, at least in terms of what may happen next.
Yeah, tough enough one-on-one for McKenzie and Franklin, but when the ball, we'll see it here, when the ball is driven to the advantage of Franklin over the top of the defender, Franklin only has to take a step forward and not allow him to come back.
First touch for the combo up forward for Sydney results in a goal. Franklin puts it through from 15 metres out.
Come back, please.
The good kick, wasn't it?
McKenzie probably knows it's Franklin behind him, but he knows he's in a no-man's land anyway. I mean, most forwards probably would have marked the ball, let alone a player with Franklin's talents.
So the deadlock broken, finally a goal. So Kennedy to Derricks, to Parker, out wide. Reed and McKenzie gets it back inside. O'Meara. Neat looking kick. Bennell's been in pretty good touch, but goes back to Hanbury. Hanbury's hands were good. McVeigh. Parker well played. Malcheski. Dangerous looking kick. Goods held on to.
Two hands.
Young Cameron there.
He's playing his 6th game, Cameron, and of course he's got the match up on Goods at the moment. Goods is with Reed and Franklin Tippett is like the fourth tall, but really he's a ground level player now. He's a ground level player that can still mark overhead. He's a very tough matchup to find a defender who can handle both of his attributes.
He's been remarkable, hasn't he? Because he won a Brownlow medal almost as a ruckman, didn't he, his first one. So as he goes, well, he hasn't got that. He's given it a hook, Goodsy. And again, not really kicking through it. See a lot of that. We talk about that a lot, you know, from 35, 40 metres out and behind. So both teams have had some chances here, and Franklin the only one really to take it so far.
He's been pretty impressive the last couple of weeks, Goods particularly, because I think his marking's the bonus. It's his ground level agility, I think, is his great strength he can now give the Swans forward group.
A nice kick. O'Meara. Ruscatelli in trouble. Oh, well done by Jack. Kept coming at him. They dodge a bullet there, the Suns, as the ball and the player go across the boundary line. Just talking about Adam Goods, has the distinction too of being the oldest starting sub in history. 34 years and 109 days. That's not on top of his resume, of course. After the boundary throw in, Hanbury applies a tackle. He's been busy. Ablett at the base of the pack. The umpire will ball it.
We see Fletcher at 39, Harvey at 36, and Goods at 30. I think players are going to play more into their 30s in the full-time era. I think the full-time system defies the ageing process a bit longer.
Scatelli down towards half forward. Dixon almost got the crumb. Gathered by Grundy. That was a pretty hard hand pass. Laidler controlled it well. Malcheski goes across the ground.
He's a problem already, Malcheski, isn't he? I mean, just his use off half back just hurts you so much. Rampy kicks to a hot spot. McVeigh just worked. Kolajasny well there, and nearly within range. McVeigh, he's got a good leg. He's got a couple of good targets forward, we know that, and he's going to go short, and that's a neat kick to Cunningham. He's dried up, Cunningham, in terms of goal scoring. It's not his absolute role, I know. He's a defensive type forward, but he kicked 5 goals in the first 3 weeks this year and only 2 in the last 7. But he has played every game.
Good use to find a forward corridor target. The Suns had about 15 players in that back 50 defending.
Younger Swan out there, Cunningham, at 20 years of age. He's struck it well, and Sydney get the first 2 goals of the match.
Bruce, you mentioned Harry Cunningham, and I guess his goals have dried up of late, but it's just his work rate, off-ball running. It's just been enormous, putting pressure on and closing out outlets. So that's his worth to the team.
Margin 12 points then. Bounce favours Derricks. Hooks it down to Kennedy, virtually at his feet. Prestia tries to fling it out of there. Hunt had it momentarily. Whistle and a ball up.
Thanks, Danny.
Last man up is Stanley. Smith and Derricks again. Smith flicks it down over the shoulder. Got it a second time. Kick goes towards half forward from Riscatelli. Laidler gathers the bouncing footy, sweeps it out wide. Now Jetta with space to roam, looks down towards half forward. Coming up to meet the football, McVeigh hammers it back to the kicker. Now Jetta unloads again. Deeper this time. Franklin out of the contest. Eventually two Suns up. Hurt was Hanbury, coming away O'Meara. Clash of heads there after the football goes hunted. Close quarters to Harbrow. Gives it across to Broughton. Gets it back. Slips it to Prestia, who made a slip. Left it on the ground initially. Recovered. Harbrow over the top.
She was a good handball. Releases. Cameron running hard. Oh, he didn't see the man coming at him.
Free forward of the footy to Dixon.
Benny, Gold Coast free kick, Charlie Dixon. Downfield.
Okay, so right down to Dixon, is it?
Yeah, it was a hold on the lead. I mean, the umpire that part of the field saw it well ahead of the play, of course.
Gee, Cameron had blinkers on, by the way, Leon. He just didn't see the Swan coming at him. So, well, here's a real chance for the Suns because
they need to nail this.
Absolutely. I mean, they've done well for the first 10-15 minutes, and then the Swans with those 2 goals, and Dixon does get the goal. So we're back to a 6-point game early in this match.
Cameron.
You're right. He didn't seem to. You just did not see.
No.
He looked over the wrong shoulder.
That's the Rampy coming at all.
Back on the ground, Ablett and Swallow, and straight into the centre square. On the way down, Smith may have touched it. Kennedy gave it across to Jack. Searching kick inside the forward 50. Tippett came hard. No mark. Wide of the pack. A chance for Stanley. Well, had it a long time. Bird picks it up right on the numbers. Gives it to Franklin. Wild hand pass though. Smith runs onto that loose footy. He's dragged down. Prestia quick hands.
Hey! Downfield. Downfield. Free kick here.
So the
Here's the mark, Sam.
was high on Prestia, was it? It's a free kick to Swallow in any case. Prestia, oblivious to all of that, runs on. Well done. Bennell's got it about 30 metres out, so Prestia didn't stop for the whistle, although they didn't take advantage, but his hard running has set this up.
And Dennis, he kicked it to the left of Bennell, which has improved his angle and got him close to the goal. Gee, it was a clever kick by Prestia.
Good player, isn't he?
What about Smith? Smith through the centre there, the big guy, eh?
You know, he has got some agility for a big 200-centimetre plus ruckman Smith.
Bennell, his last attempt early in the game, not so flash. This one just not holding its line. He misses to the left.
Now, I heard you interview pre-game with Guy McKenna-Mack. I think he had his fingers crossed because Ablett's gone nowhere near Kennedy.
No, not. You're right. But he did explain.
Well, maybe they shook hands and tossed the coin. No, they didn't even do that at the start.
He said he wouldn't start. It wouldn't be at the start of the match. So let's see how it unfolds. But so far, you're right. Grundy back. They love to give it to Malcheski, don't they? So Laidler. And then, well, that's a terrible handball. Here's Ablett. And that handball not good either by the great one. So missing Dixon completely. Don't see that too often. And Malcheski racking them up. Had career high last week of 37. Gee, Smith's impressive.
Yeah, he's a very impressive young player. And back from that knee injury, he's only played I think it's his 3rd game back.
It's his 4th. Yeah.
But no, very agile. He's got the height clearly, and he's got the ability, but he's also can get around the ground as well.
Swans by 5 points. Entertaining game so far. Hooked down behind. Here's a chance for O'Meara. Gets a hand pass off. Harbrow inside the centre square. Not his best effort. It wanders inside the forward 50. Matera put to ground. As a result, helpless. Coming away as Reed. Good kick up towards the wing. Hanbury seems to be okay. That's a dangerous kick into the path of Jack. Runs inside the 50. Lines up and may miss everything. Close to the boundary line again. That's a replay. They didn't collide with a post that time, but going back, May able to punch it away from Franklin. Slower kick gave him a better chance, but even so, he's growing in confidence and realises the goal that Franklin kicked really wasn't on him.
Gee, I thought Jack would have gobbled that goal.
Ablett just accelerated enough to put the pressure on him and make him kick it a step quicker.
Kennedy going well. Now Jetta's a good kick from this spot. He likes those. So he gets his first. It's not quite back to 2012 form. I mean, Jetta had a remarkable 2012 season when you look at it. I mean, in 2012, he kicked 45 goals, Lee, and averaged 16 disposals a match. I mean, it was a big effort.
You're a good finisher, but he's such a good ball carrier. That's the main thing. When he gets the ball into space, you know, he can run his 10, 20, 30 metres because he's got such speed and usually a good distributor of the ball as well. But that kick across the body over the left shoulder, yeah, no, he's very comfortable with those executions.
And Lee, in this first quarter, he's found a fair bit of space, Jetta, hasn't he, out on that wing?
He's been good.
So Sydney, by a couple of goals in what's been a really interesting opening term here. So Smith again goes early. Derricks wins it, though. Hunt just worried. Parker enough. McGlynn, Russell, Smith again, doing the roving, so to speak. Good kick from Smith, gives Dixon every chance. Well, if I say Smith's impressive again, stop me, because it's a broken record. But yeah, Dixon's got a long leg here, but Mackenzie's got a longer one. But that's a big test. He's given it something. Oh, gee, I got excited then halfway through that.
He's got a big boom. I mean, you know that the opposition would know too that any time they can feed the ball off to Mackenzie around that 60-metre range, he's got the real power in the kick.
Here's Rampy, who's a long kick himself. Looks beyond the wing, trying to move that ball towards Cunningham. Not a bad effort, but just getting across and doing well has brought the knock it across the boundary line. Tippett without a possession so far. Throw in on the outer side wing. And the Suns growing in confidence. Despite the fact they're down by 10, they're certainly matching it with Sydney. Just haven't taken their chances as well as they might. Reid decisively. Jack couldn't control it. Reid goes again. Gets out of trouble. Feeds a hand pass back. Malcheski has been pesky. Have it across towards McVeigh. Here's Rampy. Rampy, interesting kick. Well, it's going to work out okay, I reckon. Flung out of there by Grundy. Taken by Richards. Goes back to Grundy. Now they can manufacture something. Touched off the boot. Jack sends it inside the forward 50. Big leap at the back, Parker. Hurt himself on the way down. Well, amazing how something good came of that. Across half back for a moment. The Suns looked a chance to win it back. But that was a beautiful kick. And Parker, who, as Bruce said, is a really emerging talent.
And good overhead. I mean, that's basically just a pack mark. I mean, they're not a big, tall group of players there, but just the ability to be able to time the leap. Did it really well.
So it's 10. This to make it 16. Kick is on the way, and it's good. So approaching quarter time. Testing.
Gee, it is a good grab, this. I mean, he's emerging all right. He's kicked 13 goals this year. Lee, I reckon they're getting the ball from half-back to half-forward so easily, the Swans at the moment.
Shaw and Malcheski looking really dangerous. They're actually just bouncing the ball off their half-back line. It's one of the strengths of the Swans, doing it again today.
So some real scoreboard pressure now. Ablett gets a little kick out of the centre. And speaking of Shaw, belting the ball back. That one not so constructive. Well done by Cameron. But just missed by Riccitelli. Hard handball there by McVeigh. O'Meara brought down by Jack. Good pick up Riccitelli. Back to Ablett. Ablett back to O'Meara. Back to Bennell. Some real quality there. And then Bennell off a step. Now Lynch engaged Richards. That was clever. Good mark by the big guy, wasn't it?
Yep.
Did that well. Held his position.
So what does he do? Is he top of the square, or does he come back?
I reckon he'd try and feed it off, but there's so many Swans defenders back. I think he's probably just got to take the chance now that he can keep the ball on line from the acute angle.
And at this time of day, this is well, it was right into the sun there. It's a hard little spot there. Well, there you go. So an opportunity lost, and I reckon that sums up the opening term. Is he allowed to have a kick? Well, he is.
Well, he's going to have to kick this about 70 metres on the fly. So he's got a cannon. He's got a cannon.
Well, he's probably the only one out there you give a chance to, isn't he?
Exocet missile to get this through, but he has got length.
Now, does he need to go torpedo, or could he go drop punt, do you think?
I've never seen him try a torpedo, to be honest. Let's see how he's setting up. No, he looks like he's setting up for the drop punt.
So he's trying to simulate on the run. Gee, that's a long kick. He got the length.
No problem.
And the 70 metres just not straight.
Well, Blighty's here today. He would have been proud of that one, wouldn't he? So, quarter time, it's 1-6 to 4-3 here at Metricon on a Sunday afternoon.